for 2017. Well, the junior rockers are being pushed down onto the track. Xander, if you can prepare yourself, we'll get to you in just a moment. We'll get to you in just a moment. If you can get that microphone on, we'll get down to you, Xander, as the junior rockers making their way out onto the grid. That was a sensational final for Shifter Rock. Actually, Senior Rock. Stand corrected, getting ahead of myself. Senior Rock will race here in just a moment. And it's an all-Polish front row. Marty Shuster and Kasper Szurek. The pole will be on pole. Xander, if you can hear me, we might get a word from you as the senior rockers get ready for this one, the 20-lap, 24-kilometre final. Xander? Just a moment, bear with us, Xander. We'll try and get this corrected. The senior rockers, Marty Shuster on pole, Kasper Szurek. Second row of the grid, Domenico Cicconini. And how about the poles? Another one, Bartosz Miller in 250. Out of grid number 4, Denny Catanini. Another pole, that's Szymon Szyszko. Out of grid number 6, the 2015 International Rock Cup champion, Denny Catanini. Former Rock Cup International champion, also in the junior rock category. Michael Muller, the Swiss driver on screen, may well take a victory here this afternoon, has been in superb form. Alessandro Di Corri, number 219. It's Alessandro. Puts the helmet on, gets ready to race. Braden Eves, all the way from the USA. We'll start this one out of grid number 11. There is Alessio Costantini, the Italian driver in 214, out of grid number 13. Anderson Sella, 266. Starts this one a little bit further back than he would like. As you look at Arthur Lees, the Brazilian. Anderson Sella, of course, front runner in the Rock Cup Italy Series. Dino Stearman from South Africa, Davide Di Marco. Marcin Zając, don't discount a Polish driver, taking victory here this afternoon. Mateusz Kapric, also from Poland, has to come from the final row of the grid. There is Riccardo Martinello, out of grid number 34, a mountain of work to do. Chiara Zorzi, she's out of grid number 32. One row behind Filippo Lazzaroni. Uber Kowalczyk, Gillian Lipinski, Nicolas Pate, Gustavo Suarez. Gustavo from Rock Cup Chile, the South Americans. A lot of support from the Chileans. And Gustavo Suarez. Victor Schoma, one of two Brazilians in this race, along with Arthur Least, Giorgio Molinari, Christian Comenducci, Mila Bartosz, and Kasper Jurek on the front row of the grid. So we're standing by for the start of Senior Rock. Still a couple of minutes away from the start. The reigning champion, I should say the 2015 champion, we'll go back 2 years in fact, Szymon Szyszko starts this one out of grid number 6. 273, just behind countryman Bartosz Miller. On screen now, the 250 cart. The Poles have been in force here this weekend. Rock Cup Poland, one of the stronger national championships around the world. A beautiful sight here at South Garda Karting. We're just a few moments away. There are the Poles on screen. Oh, a problem for Jurek, slow getting away. But does fire that cart into life. This is the Rock Cup final, Senior Rock for 2017. So this is the grid. Szyszko and Jurek, Cicconnini, Miller, Karanini, Szyszko. Michael Muller, the Swiss driver, back for another crack at the Rock Cup International Final. The sun's starting to set here in northern Italy, just behind this magnificent grandstand at South Garda Karting. Problem for the Brazilian driver, Victor Schoma. Will try and keep an eye out for the 265 cart. Doesn't seem to have taken his place on the circuit. Now he comes around, just a timing issue. In fact, we can just see Victor Schoma going through now. So the field form up, 272, Maciej Szyszko, Kasper Jurek, Cicconnini breaks the Polish domination. We had Italians dominating Rock Shifter. The Poles dominate Senior Rock. And we'll see who takes out the title in a few moments' time. The reigning champion, Simone Favro. Cicconnini was third last year. Michael Muller actually finished in second place. Muller back in grid number 7. They come up to the line. We go around again. This is not the start. Another formation lap. Magnificent sight here at South Garda Karting in northern Italy. Maciej Szyszko and Simon Szyszko, the Szyszko brothers from Poland, in the front 3 rows of the grid. 4 Poles in the front 6 positions. They dominate the front row. Maciej Szyszko, 272. Kasper Jurek on the outside of the front row of the grid. Senior Rock. Simone Favro, last year's champion, as we mentioned, not here to defend his title. So it's all to play for here over the remaining 20 laps, 24 kilometres here in northern Italy. The Poles on pole, lead them around. And we go green. Szyszko from pole. Made a great start, will lead them into the flat out turn 1 curve here at South Garda Karting. Cicconini slides it into position number 3, the Italian. In fact, he'd gone up into second spot. That was Bartosz Miller, the race leader from pole, Marty Shuster. Down the hill for the first time. The Senior Rock, the original category, the first title, won in 2003 by the British driver Michael Simpson. That was the only time, the first time, that we held the race outside of South Garda karting. That was at Jesolo, Pista Azzurra, 15 years ago. The 15th edition. Who will claim the title? In 19 laps, we will know. It may well be a Polish pilot because they're running 1-4-6 with Shuster, Szurek, Simon Szyszko also up there as well, comfortably inside the top 10. Not a good start for Braden Eves. The American has dropped back to 10th spot. Let's cut the order for you. Marty Shuster, Cicconini in second, Catanini, the second Italian now. Kasper Szurek, Michael Muller, P5, Gicordi, Bartosz Miller, Simon Szyszko, Giliberti and Braden Eves, as we mentioned. So Cicconini in 2-1-1 closes in on the race leader, the Italian. Tries to take the fight up to the driver from Poland. The front two indeed pulling away at the end of the second lap. Back to Denny Catanini. The field streamed down this start from this straight, well over 120 k's an hour. Also for the Senior Rock category. Denny Catanini in P3, won the Junior Rock class outright in 2015. That was 2 years ago. Up to the senior category for Denny. Runs in P3, he's on the podium. There he is, there's Denny Catanini going through, 1 spot ahead of Kasper Szurek. Michael Miller, he was also on the podium just 12 months ago, runs in P5 from Bartosz Miller. Simon Szyszko, the 2015 Rock Cup international champion, picks up another spot. He gets past Alessandro Di Cori, Giliberti, and Christian Comentucci gets past the American Braden Eves to round out the 10. Across the line they go. The yellow flag is out. We'll try and pick up who that is for. Oh, Giliberti. Giliberti has come to grief. The Italian dropping down the order, as is Giorgio Molinari. They will rejoin. They come across the line now, but a long way down the field. In fact, they're last and second last, 32nd and 33rd respectively, after coming to grief on the end of the third lap. Marty Shuster leads from Cicconini and Catanini. The Italians trying to work together. A move up the inside, just further back from Michael Muller. Muller takes fourth place off Kasper Szurek, the Polish driver. There is Michael Muller, the green and white kart from Switzerland. Szurek comes across the line in P5 ahead of his countrymen, Bartosz Miller and Simon Szyszko. 4 poles in the top 7. Only split by the Swiss Michael Muller in 4th, and the Italians Cicconini and Catanini, who run 2nd and 3rd respectively. There's Muller in 2.54. Marty Shuster, can he emulate his older brother Simon, who's also in this race? Just coming down the hill now, the 2015 International Rock Cup champion in this very category. Comentucci sideways through into the chicane. Anderson Sella now inside the top 10. List, Simon Urbaniak, Marchesan, Mira, DeMarco, Funda, Costantini, Suarez, Tanya Muller rounds out the top 20. This is 1/4 race distance. Marty Shuster on screen from pole, the race leader, half a second from Cicconini and Caradini. Very gentle on the steering wheel, superb driving style from the pole. Just lets the car do all the work, lets it ride the bumps as he comes down the hill. Cicconini, also another driver to be on the podium in the past in the Rock International Cup. Was 3rd in this very event last year, Domenico. And ironically, that's where he's going to find himself in a moment. With Michael Muller, the Swiss driver. Hold station for just a moment. Muller in P4. Marty Shuster, the pole from Pop, 2:72, another lap in the books. The gap remains the same. Michael Muller, fastest lap of the race now for the Swiss at 48.976. He's the only driver to break the 49-second bracket. There is Michael Muller going through, closes in on the back of Costantini. Then there's a gap to Cicconini, third in this race last year. Marty Shuster leads it by 0.5 of a second, as we mentioned. Christian Comanducci is also flying. Up inside goes Michael Muller. The Swiss driver now up onto the podium. Second last year, he's third now, having displaced the Italian driver, the former junior champion, Costantini. They come down the hill into the pit hairpin, hard on the brakes. Depresses that left brake pedal with some force, does the Swiss. Michael Muller leans into the corner. He's quite a tall driver, is Michael. Down the hill, just chokes that Vortex senior rock engine ever so slightly. Gives it a little bit more fuel. Marty Shuster, the gap is 0.6 of a second. Michael Muller, the fastest driver on the track, second last year, runs third now. And he's already dropped off the Italian Costantini by a couple of tenths of a second. The rest of the field stream through. Comanducci, fastest lap of the race now, 48.7, lowers the mark. They're all into the 48s now, with the exception of Costantini, who, to be fair, did lose some time when Muller, the Swiss driver, got past him. Not even half race distance. Chiara Zorzi, unfortunately, she has retired from this one. The young Italian girl with a mechanical issue at the end of lap number 9. And it may look to be something as simple as a dropped chain. Chiara Zorzi joins Marcin Zając, Giliberti and Victor Skoma as the early retirements in this one. 31 drivers still circulating. Make that 30, of course, with Zorzi's retirement. Marty Shuster, the gap remains 0.6 of a second. So Shurek in P4. On the back of Michael Muller. Muller, meanwhile, tries to close the gap to Cicconini. Marty Shuster, a superb job out front from Paul. Can he emulate his older brother? Well, unless Cicconini can do anything spectacular, it would seem so. There's Muller, slides down into the chicane. Head of Shurek, Costantini, Miller, Shuster, that's Scheiben. Comanducci, Vicordi and Anderson Sella drags himself up into the top 10. Half race distance now for Marty Shuster. Cicconini still in P2. The 2:11. Still 0.6 of a second behind the race, and another fastest lap for Comanducci. The Italian runs in P8. From Vicordi, Sella, Easley, Mira, Simon, Ovagnac. Di Marco, the Italian, rounds out the top 15. Marty Shuster from Poland, small team, racing in the Rock Cup Poland. Great to see such a strong contingent from the Rock Cup Poland series. One of the original nations to embrace the Rock Cup contest. The concept has gone from strength to strength. We've got 410 drivers from 48 nations all around the world here this weekend, today, fighting it out for the Rock Cup International Final. Half race distance past now. Shuster. The gap remains 0.6 of a second. The race leader, Domenico Cicconini, driving as hard as he possibly can. Third in this race last year. He's going one better, but it's still not enough to take victory here this afternoon. Muller, meanwhile, he was second last year. He now runs in third place, the Swiss pilot. The Pole leads the Italian, the Swiss. Kasper Schurek, another Pole. Now ahead of Costantini, Bartosz Miller and Simon Shuster. Poles first, fourth, fifth, and seventh. 4 of them inside the top 7. Carol Bash, 2015 CIK FIA World Champion, the only driver ever from Poland to win a CIK World Kart Racing Championship, is here trackside, and he will be delighted if his countrymen can take victory here in the Rock Cup International Final in 7.5 laps time. Shishko, though, he is being caught. You can see visibly on screen. Cicconnini is coming. Well, has he thrown the dice too early? Marty Shuster will gauge the gap for you as they come around onto the straight this time. 0.5 of a second. A 10, but he's almost close enough to get the slipstream. Domenico Cicconnini driving the wheels off that car. Trying to catch the pole desperately. Head down behind the steering wheel. Hard under brakes into the pit hairpin. They accelerate, maximum traction. Up over the hill they come. Marty Shuster, Domenico Cicconnini, the gap officially 0.53 of a second. Michael Muller starting to be dropped off a little bit. The Swiss back in third. 2.3 seconds off taking victory here this afternoon is the Swiss driver. You would think it would not happen unless the front two come to grief. Cicconnini is certainly catching him though. Still plenty of time to remain. 6 laps to go. The gap still 0.5 of a second. Shuster gets a good run onto the straight. There is nothing between the identically prepared Vortex Senior Rock engines that are manufactured not too far from this legendary South Garda circuit. Muller, 1.5 seconds further back, trying to get into this battle. Kasper Jurek holding off his countryman Bartosz Miller. Katanini back to 6 now. Head of Comanducci Decordi, Simon Sisko, who is Mache, the race leader's older brother, back in 9th. 1 spot ahead of Anderson Seller, who rounds out the 10. The gap still 0.5 of a second. Marty Shuster, 3/4 of the work done here this afternoon. The pole, who started on pole, looking to emulate his older brother. We'll get back to that towards the end of the race. Can he do it? Can the Shuster brothers write their name into history here this afternoon? Simon, who won the race in 2015, his younger brother. Marche doing a superb job. He's done all the work for 15.5 laps. Domenico Cicconnini, third in this race last year, cannot catch the pole. He's doing absolutely everything in his power to overreel the race leader. They come onto the straight. The gap's down to 0.4 of a second. Here comes the Italian. Cicconnini cuts 1/10 out of him. And as you know, it is much, much harder to lead than it is to chase. Shuster just has to drive as hard as he possibly can. Cicconnini has got a target. He's got something to aim for. And that is the pole, who started on pole. 3.5 laps as they come down to hill. The gap is 0.4 of a second into the chicane. Michael Muller is also getting closer. Sure, he's 1 second back, but if these two come to grief in the remaining 3.5 laps, the Swiss driver will be there to pounce. Across the line, we'll gauge the gap for you. It was 0.4 of a second. It remains as such, officially 0.42. This is a nail biter. The 2017 Senior Rock International Final here at South Garda Karting. Cicconnini is fast in the tight section of the circuit. There may be just a tooth or so of difference in the gearing between these two karts. Virtually identical equipment between the pole and the Italian. Cicconnini slides it into the chicane. 2 laps remain at the end of this one. He closes right up under brakes. Accelerates down the inside. Cicconnini from so far back takes the lead. Incredible. He cut 0.4 of a second out of him. He takes the lead with 2 laps to go. Marty Shuster back into second spot. Can the pole respond? Cicconnini goes defensive into the pit hairpin. Watch Michael Muller back in third. The Swiss driver wants to get involved in this battle. Up the hill they come. Cicconini looks behind. He's going defensive. Surely he won't have to do that for the remaining 2 laps. That will draw Muller right into the battle. The car bucks under brakes violently. This is a passing opportunity. He knows it. He goes defensive. Shishko down the inside. Oh, nicely done by Marty Shuster. The pole leads. This is the final lap of the Rock Cup International Final for 2017. Cicconini back into second spot. Oh, up in the inside on a part of the track where you cannot pass. The Italian goes through on the pole, who started from pole. Michael Muller, the Swiss driver in third, is coming and coming hard. Marty Shuster, can he respond? Cicconini, third last year, he leads with 500 metres remaining. There are 3 spectacular passing opportunities coming up. You bet the move will come. Shuster gets a tight run into the hairpin. Here he comes. They touch hairpin. Touch wheels. Oh, Michael Muller. They crash. Michael Muller from position number 4. Bartosz Miller will win a spectacular Rock Cup final. They touch nose cones in the final hairpin. The yellow flag is out. Cicconini has not finished. He is out. Bartosz Miller from position number 4 in the final corner has won the most spectacular Rock Cup final ever. Michael Muller, the Swiss driver, just couldn't get the engine RPM. The Swiss driver was second last year. He's second again this year. And Kasper Jurek, after all that, comes home in P3. Marty Shuster, he did all the hard work for 18 laps. Finishes 1 step off the podium. Cicconini has just pushed his kart over the line to a rapturous round of applause. He will be furious with that. He did a brilliant job all weekend. Domenico Cicconini has officially finished the race in position number 30. There is the race winner. We thought a pole might do it. We thought it would be Shuster, possibly Jurek. Bartosz Miller around the outside, swept past not only Cicconini, not only Shuster, but the Swiss driver Michael Muller, who could see the checkered flag. He could almost taste victory, but he just didn't have the engine RPM. Bartosz Miller from Poland, from grid number 4, has come through to win a spectacular Rock Senior final here at South Garda Karting.